Yeah, man. First video. How's it feel? We're finally getting it. We finally getting it popping.
The hell was that? That made me chuckle my
Hey,
shit.
we finally getting it popping. So I'm assuming we need some type of introduction. Cause y'all don't know who the hell we are. I know who he is. He knows who I am. But y'all don't know who we are. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know me. I don't know me.
We go by the Knob Turners, man. Production duo. I personally go by the name of Stealth, the producer. And this guy,
Terrano.
we gonna start this new series, man. We really want to tap into the producer community, and we want y'all to get to know us. We want to get to know y'all, and we figure what better way than to make video content to where we can make these videos and y'all can interact and comment and let us know what you think about the topics that we cover, right? So this will be the first one.
And this is gonna be Discord community, so we can get in here and talk to everybody.
Right. Yeah. So we're gonna have the
you
Discord link below. We're both on Instagram. We'll have all those links. We got websites and all that. So yeah, we are here. Basically, our main goal is to, like I said, interact, get to know the producer community, but also help those who we can help. And we're also looking for help too. And this is all going to be discussion based. We're going to share ideas, and we're all going to try to get to the money together. You know what I'm saying? So
don't ask me for no tips. Don't ask nobody for tips, because why we all learning? Because the music industry, it ain't one-sided. You know?
Not at all.
You don't know what's gonna be hot tomorrow.
Right.
So don't try to copy nobody.
The first topic now, we're going to cover a lot of different topics that maybe some intermediate, some advanced, or maybe some beginners can learn from. Would you say we're more targeting everybody as a whole, intermediate, advanced? Okay. But
because we can get a lot of input from everybody on all angles, which gives somebody who don't know something, some information they ain't heard from the, different side of it, instead of YouTube videos, stuff like that. So everybody here can input things, whether you beginning or expert, or you just in the middle trying to figure it out, because the experts will try to sell you a course, not tell you the secrets, but get you close to the secrets. They're gonna leave room for discovery.
And I'm not hating on nobody's house. I'm not knocking
nobody's
hustle.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
But that's how it works, because
Absolutely.
everybody in this community is trying to get money. Everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And so if I'm producer A and I'm like, hey, here's a course to teach you how to be a better producer, or here's a course to teach you how to make money marketing on Facebook. I'm gonna try to get you at the end of this, because I gotta eat. And the community and that's why I like DJ Payne One, man. He just be giving out gems for free.
Absolutely.
You don't got to. He's established, but
absolutely.
That's my whole thing.
At the same time, going back to what we just said a minute ago, that's why we're here, so we can grow together. You know what I'm saying? Learn together, collab together. You know what I'm saying? We're really trying to build something, and again, like he mentioned, we're gonna have a Discord, so please join that. We do have the link below. And we're going to get this thing started, man. What you think, brother? First topic we are going to cover, and this is more so, this is definitely a beginner topic, but I would say you could probably put this in the intermediate as well tier. Are you good enough, right? Are your beats good enough? Is what you're doing good enough? And I think this is something that we all ask ourselves at one point or another. Would you agree?
I agree.
And that's just kind of what I want to talk about today with my brother. So the question of, are you good enough? How would you, when asking yourself that, what type of conclusions do you come with? What are your thoughts when it comes to thinking about, are you good enough? And what are some things that you would suggest to somebody else to figure out where they are and where they stand as far as their talent level and their skill level and how they can grow?
It's crazy. When you were saying that, I was just thinking about good enough. That being subjective. Good enough is subjective, right?
But yes.
But I also think that there is a prerequisite for good, because I look at it like this: if you can't put your skill level next to somebody who is doing something that you want to do, and you can't get close, you ain't good enough. But for instance, when I was starting, right? When I started, how making beats, I wasn't creating beats, I was mimicking. I was trying to reproduce And that's kind of what sharpened my skills. Like I remember back in the day, the Underdogs were huge, and they were
Big
big R&B
Cox,
producers. You know,
Storytellers,
those were
yeah.
the ones I paid attention to because I was trying to figure out, hey, how they do
We're
them
R&B
bass lines.
heads, by the way. So
But yeah, how to do
first
them
and
bass
foremost,
lines,
but
how to get that lead to sound a certain way. You
mm-hmm.
know, how to get. I was trying to do that, and so I end up trying to remake. Like a lot of FL Studio producers will do that now. They make remake sessions or remake beats
Yeah.
and give you all the sounds that you may need. I was doing that when I was starting out.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, it just kind of led to like, okay, now I have these skills to be able to make a full, complete song. What can I do with creating? I knew that there had to be, all right, there had to be some kind of structure. I know that there had to be sound choices that, you know, were current sounding. Because a
Absolutely.
lot of people get into using sounds that are stock from FL, and I ain't nothing wrong with them. But when you start listening to how your snap or your kick or your clap or your hi-hats hit against somebody who is
Yeah.
doing something you want to do,
Mhm.
then you can't hold up. And then a lot of that comes into like, now you got to turn into an engineer. You got to
Yeah.
make the most basic shit sound amazing, which is hard to balance those hats. I feel like it's hard to balance hats of being an engineer and a producer, let alone anything else after that. Because ultimately that's what you're going to be as a producer. You're gonna be
Yeah.
your graphic design department.
You're gonna be
your
everything.
marketing department.
Unless
you're
you
gonna
have
be
the money
everything.
to pay everybody to do this and do that, you're going to learn. And I love that you just said that, the engineering thing, because I nowadays I almost feel like, is mixing like first now? I mean, and what I mean by that, as far as like you know, you can have the dopest arrangements, you can have the dopest plugins, you can even have good drums, but if you don't got a good mix, those drums can sound really shitty. You know what I'm saying? Like
Trash. Yeah.
you're you know, if you don't have good leveling with your melodies and your melodic stuff, like your pianos and your pads and your keys, you know, that mix can make or break your beat. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's definitely a part of it. You know what I mean? I just want to kind of chime in right there.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Because when it comes down to that, now you're really going, am I good enough? Now you may be able to make the same beat as Metro Boomin, but can you get his quick mix to an artist? Like his quick mix will give an artist that 808 hitting, you know, because nowadays, this generation of music that we're in, it ain't about what your beat sound like. It's about, can you do something, some dance to it? Can it knock on some speakers? Like we've seen a lot of stuff hit, go hard, and bang for a summer.
Absolutely.
And it's just because it hit hard. You know, a lot of stuff sound the same. You know, I don't want to disrespect anybody's producer style, but to me, like when you listen to a lot of drill stuff, if it don't hit like the last drills track that was hot, you ain't going nowhere. Because drill is cool, but it's an acquired taste for a lot of people.
Right.
And so, like I said, when we talk about, are you good enough? Are you good enough to reproduce the same feeling?
Absolutely.
You know, because you don't have to sound like it.
No, music is about the feeling. And that's the thing too. Yeah, because the dudes who are really getting the money and getting the placements and selling crazy beats online and things like that, it's like you don't have to, like you said, you don't have to sound like them, but the quality has to be there, right?
Yeah.
And then I would focus on quality first, and then kind of learn what your style is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If that makes sense, because you can have a style, but again, if that mix is crappy, then nobody's gonna rock with your beat. And just some tangible things you could do as well is do a car test. Put on whoever, if it's somebody like a tight beat, I guess, if you want to say, that's what our community does, I guess. But if it's like a tight beat, I wouldn't even play a tight beat necessarily. I will play the album. Like, so say like you got a Migos type beat, I'll go play Migos album, because really you're trying to get, that's the level you're really trying to get to, is the major label, the major placements. So I would go play those songs, play those beats, and then play your stuff. But okay, how's that add up? Okay, all right, my hi-hat's a little too high, or my overall mix, my master is just really low. Like, how are they getting to hit? And just chip away at it, figure that out.
I don't know if anybody's ever done it, but I want to know, like, so the people who make beats in like laptops, I wonder, do they mix in the car?
You know what's crazy? I forgot who it was recently. Somebody said they have mixed in the car. I know a lot. Like, we all do car tests.
But like mixing
that's the ultimate
in the car test.
If you got a laptop,
you're in the car. Just hook that auxiliary up.
Hey, that wouldn't be a bad approach.
I ain't never thought about that.
I've never thought about that either, because I don't make beats on my laptop, but
that's true.
Now that you said that, like,
I might have to
Like
buy
if
a
you
laptop just to do it.
like if you're doing like a quick mix or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let me
Yeah.
go hook this up real quick, just level it, boom.
If
You
the
know.
808 hitting them 6x9s or
Right.
them 5 inches, it's gonna hit everywhere.
Right.
And it's like one of my favorite plugins. They got this plugin called Mix Checker, and it literally has like different sound profiles for like a car,
Right.
laptop speakers, tablet speakers, the HS8s, or the NS10s. Like it has those little Avatone,
Right.
mono speakers. Like that's a dope ass
Yeah.
plugin.
And another thing I would do
Yeah.
too is find somebody you trust or find people that you trust to really listen to your music. That's going to give you an honest opinion, because a lot of times you don't. Yeah, having a yes man around you is probably the worst thing you could do. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have anybody who's going to tell you like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You can do. I know you can do better though, or I didn't really like this. I didn't like that. That's what you need. You need that constructive criticism, because how can you grow if somebody's telling you, oh yeah, everything you make is hot? Like no. So that's definitely a beginner thing. I would say like get somebody that you trust and just tell them like, look, like tell me straight up, like, what do you think about this beat? You know what I mean? Or song, or whatever it may be. In the beginning, we had each other. We had a whole crew. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of we were working our way through that together. But I think the good thing about us is we were very self-aware. You know what I mean? I think we knew that we need to work, what we need to work on, when we need to work on it, what areas we want to grow in, and things like that. And I think that's how we got to the point that we are today, to where, excuse me, that we can knock out tracks and songs, and we know that like, okay, like yeah, this is him right here. You know what I mean? So I will find somebody you trust. Compare your music to the people that you're aiming for. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the industry, whether it's a type beat thing, compare your beats to other producers, other songs on the radio, things like that. Anything else you would say to kind of work through that if you're
I mean
trying to figure
that's
out?
really what it comes down to. Like you have to practice, you have to learn your DAW.
Yeah.
So and that, like I said, reproducing things. If you can get it to sound like or similar or get that vibe, you're doing your job. You're good enough to start looking at yourself like a threat to the next man. When it comes to producing. But yeah, finding somebody who you trust that's going to tell you if it's trash or not. Because if you don't have that person, you go through life thinking you just the dopest, and then you turn out to be like, Ice JJ Fish. So, somebody pumping your head up and you go out there looking like a fool. So finding people that can tell you when you good and when you're not good, that's what you need to definitely hold dear to you. Because say you do blow up, those same motherfuckers is going to keep you out of trouble. Them same motherfuckers is going to keep you in the game, because they're going to be like, yeah, that's trash, bro.
Exactly.
So,
and also too, the reason why it's important to find out where you are as far as the level you are and where you need to go with your production is because first impression could be a last impression, right?
That's
true. So say you run into somebody, if you're in LA and you kind of know where to be, like you can run into people like every day. We're not in LA, we're in Northern California, but we've spent a lot of time in LA and we've always ran into people. So you might get that email, you might get that phone number, you might get that invite to be like, yo, come to the lab, play your stuff. You know what I'm saying? or if you might see A&R, hey, all right, well, I'm free at 1:30, come by the office and come play your stuff. You know what I mean? So you got to be ready. First impression could be a last impression. So if your stuff ain't up to par to what they're already placing, what they're already working with, what they hear on a daily basis, and they remember your face, they remember your name, like, even if you get better later on, they'll be like, oh, that's that one dude, like, you know what I'm saying? So before you present yourself, it's important to know that you're at least at a certain level of quality, and then you can really start pushing your stuff to, whatever it is you want to do. You know what I mean? As far as the industry or online and things like that. And on top of that, the learning never stops. On top of that, even when you're in the advanced tier, like the learning never stops.
I guarantee you, people like Timberland is still learning,
and that's a whole another topic. You know what I mean?
Them dudes that made money. You know,
right.
I think a lot of a really good way to learn, honestly, no cap, collab with motherfuckers.
Yeah,
like you can hear what somebody's doing and how you can make that shit better, or if it's not better, then you can go, hey, bro, what, they kind of give you some pointers or whatever, because everybody's pulling from different experiences.
Absolutely.
But collabing with people will definitely sharpen your skills, because they say iron sharpens iron.
Sharpens iron. Yeah, right.
So if you hear, like, all right, if I sing you a loop, right, and you send me a loop, and we just make drums for each other shit, and then vice versa, we gonna go, okay, cool, this is what I need to work on, because I didn't sound as good. I wasn't as confident in the shit I sent.
Invest in your sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's because that's how that's where you would kind of know that, okay, at least I have quality sounds, and you can kind of work your way through how you want to use them and how they work best in your flow and your sound. But if you get good quality sounds to start with, I mean, you're already, you know what I'm saying, on a good start, because too many times, like, you'll hear beats that don't really have the best drums, don't really have the best sounding melodies and things like that. And it's just like, sound choice is very important. So learn your sounds, learn sound choices, learn what things are. Because a lot of times, like, when you hear a song, like, oh, what does that sound like? Recognize that, like, oh, that's that sounds like a EP layer with a pad, or, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. That sounds like a bell layer with a guitar. Like, learn what things are too. Kind of be proficient in that regard. Just learning, man. Learning, growing, asking those around you that you trust, and comparing your stuff to those who you know are getting to the money. You know what I'm saying? And really making it happen. That's how I would, if I was starting out, if I was a beginner or just intermediate, you've been making beats for a while and you just kind of want to see where you're at. Those are the things I would do, and then just dive in, man. Like, throw your beats up on the website, on your Instagram, see what people think. Get the response. That's another thing we didn't talk about. Put your beats out there and see what other people are saying that you don't know. People that you don't know at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See if they like the video. See if they comment on, like, oh, then you'll get some people like, yo, let me get that beat. Like, oh, what's this? Like, that's fire. You know what I mean? So that's another way you kind of know.
Just a quick tip though, when you are going through these YouTube tutorials and trying to learn how to do stuff, don't just watch 1,000,000 videos and never do anything. You can sit there and watch 1,000 videos and just watch them. And by the time you get done watching them, you've soaked up all this information, but you've never put it to practice, so it doesn't stay, and you can't use it. And so he's like, yo, he literally is like, yo, take a week.
Yeah.
Watch a few videos. After that week, you go and start practicing that shit. You start putting that shit into practical use. So if, like, hey, you learned how to use triple hi-hats, and layer them and pan them and all that shit, start using it in your beats. Do that for like 3 days.
Yeah, then it becomes second nature. Then it's like, oh.
And now you can start putting all those ingredients that you didn't accumulate, put them together and making your own stew. That's why we call it cooking. You create your own style in that.
Yeah.
That's the gem. Learn, but learn proactively. Do that shit.
Absolutely.
Whatever you thought you was, wanted to learn, do it.
And it's
as you're learning it, do it.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because we consume so much information on a daily, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. We're always on our phones. We're looking at something. We consume so much. But if you're one of those guys who looks at all these YouTube tutorials, and sometimes you might just throw something on for inspiration, right? Just like, oh, let me get some ideas, get the creative flow going, right? But if you're really watching something to learn how to do something, like he said, put it to use. Don't just watch it and be like, oh, okay, I'll get to it. Nah, get straight to it. You know what I'm saying? Learn that process. Pretty good first episode, man. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, first little win. What y'all think?
I mean, no milk.
Yeah, y'all rocking with us or what, man? Go ahead.
Nah, for real though. Let us know what y'all want to know, man. Let us know. Talk about. We start getting people on here when we start accumulating a community that actually wants to be, active and talking. Let's talk it out, man. Let's get going,
man. Let's figure this out.
Hey, ain't nothing but space and opportunity.
Drop your comments below. Let us know what you think. Any ideas for future videos? We will see every comment. All comments, we're going to respond. We're going to be interacting with y'all. We will have the Discord. Join the Discord. The link is below. Tap in with us. I go by the name of Stealth.
Toronto.
That's my brother right there, Toronto. And
no, I'm not from Toronto.
No.
But my name,
explain that real quick. So the people like,
all right, my name is the Terran, Terran, and the Toe, TO2 is the first two letters of my last name.
Absolutely.
Terrano. That's
There you
all
go.
it is.
There you go.
That's all it is.
All right, man. So we gonna tap in with y'all, man. Definitely appreciate
Sure.
everybody. Hit the like button. Hit the sub. Let's go.